Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Basically, you all made it to Calaman as refugees from Vogler. Do you all hear the music? It's about. Yep, cool. Shouldn't be too loud, hopefully. Let me turn it down. Oh God, I turned it up. There we go. But yeah, you all made it to Calaman, the big beacon in the east, this giant fortified city that has withstood wars and the cataclysm, and you're all here as refugees. And you basically shimmied your way. But yeah, you guys make it to the epic city of Calaman. Big army, blue and silver colors everywhere. And of course, the giant Castle Calaman at the top of the great hill that you can see from all over Calaman. You all basically infiltrated an important High Council meeting and somehow talked your way into not only, not being charged by any, not getting charges for breaking into a castle and breaking into this important meeting, but you're actually serving in the military now. Basically, as the Bronze Bombers, right? As the Bronze Bombers, as your normal team that you've established. They tried to kind of shimmy you one way or the other, but Marshal Nestra, the supreme leader of the military, kind of used her power in regards to law and military to give you guys the option to do as you please. So now you are the Bronze Bombers here in Calaman. I think one big thing that we ended on was the very weird encounter with these black-robed witches that Lyx saw in just the streets of Calaman out in the markets. And they kind of spoke to her telepathically, giving her all these strange messages and talking about, the hatred for the red robes and the white robes and how they're trying to control the tide, right? Or basically the magic in Calaman. It's very restricted. If you use the tide, you need to work with one of these institutions or you would get in trouble. And the black robes gave Lyx the opportunity to be free of that if Lyx goes to visit their shadow temple out in the Crescent Lake Moon. Or Crescent Moon Lake. So yeah, Lyx, you got that very weird, cryptic, and maybe helpful message from these random black robe witches. They said, bring your friends. They kind of gave they almost made it seem like they knew you had friends, that you knew they had close ones. And they said that bring them if they're ready to explore their darkness, right? If they're ready to understand their own darkness. Yeah, that was kind of the big thing we ended on. A bunch of other crazy stuff happened. You met all kinds of NPCs, but they'll be coming back probably this session, honestly. So yeah, any questions, anything that I may have left out that was pretty big from the last session? You guys are all sleeping. Oh yeah, and sorry, Abbey did end up going to the Root and Neil's, this bakery this bakery couple that she knew about. Or sorry, Lyx. But we'll get to that. You all are asleep. I'm guessing, did you guys go back to the tents? Did you guys go back to the hammocks? Lyx, you're with the Root and Neil's, obviously. I know, Sneak, you mentioned kind of getting drunk at night after a long day. That last day was the same day that Vogler got destroyed, right? So Vogler was annihilated, everything that happened there with Vogler, and you guys infiltrated a castle, right? This all happened in one day once again. So your DM likes some big days. So do you guys all just go back to the tents to knock out, I'm guessing? Just kind of find a tent somewhere with your goods. Sneak, your family was kind of sleeping on hammocks that they set up on the dock. I don't know if you joined them there or actually go into a tent.
Join them.
Okay, so you're also kind of probably drunkenly at some point in the night you slip into a little hammock, or maybe you cuddle up next to one of your siblings and annoy them in the middle of the night, and you're knocked out in a hammock hanging out in the docks. Yeah, so you all have a pretty uneventful night. Go ahead, Melvin.
So for downtime activity, I guess Melvin's gonna work on kind of magic and just kind of like songs sort of lilting back and forth, perhaps using Song of Rest to help quell and calm the folks by the tent. So
This
that's
is
what
like
he's kind of,
before you knock out, you think?
yeah, probably
Oh,
before I
okay.
knock out an hour or two of study and
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty
maybe playing the
solemn
soul keys.
yeah, it's a pretty solemn event, I would imagine, but definitely a peaceful one, one that a lot of people are drawn to it. Mayor Raven, Fizban actually, Fizban who's been kind of helping. He seems to be a part of some kind of church. You guys aren't really sure yet. He's been really helping a lot with the refugees and kind of commanding some people around to help that are in robes. And yeah, you might see some of the other usual suspects. You know, the Buffs of the world, his uncle, Lyx's parents actually, and the rest of the Voglins enjoying your music and kind of obviously being distraught and maybe a little hopeful, but still kind of scared of like what, like we're gonna live in a mansion or also in refurbished slums or something. I'm assuming Mayor Raven probably would share a decent amount of this information that you guys all, because I think you guys told Mayor Raven about everything, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, have a nice night. Willow, I'm guessing you're vibing to the music too. Sneak and Licks, the little people are off doing God knows what. And then you eventually make your way to rest. And Melvin, you kind of have music on your mind, guessing, after performing and practicing and trying to ease the crowd. So yeah, as you're going to sleep, maybe there's some tunes still going on in your head. And yeah, and you all sleep. And there is darkness as rest finally comes. Some form of rest, right? I'm guessing some of you might be fidgety after the day's events, but still some rest, just physical body just done. And then there is a giant sound. There's a scene of a desert, canyons, and a giant sound, almost like a sizzling in the sand as rumbling starts coming and coming. And there's soldiers in blue armor standing firm with all kinds of ballistas on these canyons. And they have all kinds of weapons. They have this blue armor. There's all kinds of races. You can see minotaurs, elves, humans in this blue armor, ready to fight, standing firm as this giant purple worm burst out of the sand, spewing sand everywhere. Some kind of, people in like desert garb riding these purple worms right at these beings as suddenly lightning shoots out from the sky. And all you see is a silhouette of something flying above high in these stormy clouds. Bang, 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 thunder, thunder, lightning. And then it changes. It's cold. It's wintry. It's a blizzard. It's a storm. There's people, prisoners linked in chains, walking through this blizzard in what looks like, not enough attire to keep them warm. As other soldiers, it's kind of hard to tell because of the scene, because of the blizzard, because of the snow, are pushing these people through, pushing them through, shoving them around in this snowy wasteland. And this is all being seen and written in someone's diary. Someone's diary. Melvin, your diary is writing all this down on its own as you are dreaming these visions. You only, Melvin, are seeing these visions. In this snowy wasteland, you finally see that the Draconians are shoving some kind of prisoners. You don't know who, prisoners of war, villagers, innocents, shoving them through this snowy land. And then you see in these dark clouds the silhouettes of what looks like dragons flying around. And you just hear that just constant wind, that constant blast of the senses as these people, some of them are falling to the ground, miserable, hopeless. And then you see another scene, a forest. You see a forest. There's Kender, a lot of Kender, in trees. They have these weird devices with sticks and little kind of catapult, tiny little things on the end of the sticks. And on one side, it looks like a spear. But there's like rocks inside of these weird little catapults that they have. It looks like they're hiding in trees. Looks like they're kind of in some kind of battle garb as well. There's actually a decent amount of humans with them and also elves, although less elves. They look like they're almost in gorilla outfits, right? So by that I mean like they have like the paint. They look like they're trying to camouflage in with the trees and the forest, and they're trying to stay hidden. And they're just looking around, waiting for something. They're up in the trees high above. And then suddenly, like a chameleon out of nowhere, a green dragon bursts out of the scene, spewing poison gas everywhere at everyone around as they start inhaling. And you hear the coughs, and you hear the coughs, and you hear the screams. And then silence. Then you hear a familiar sound, if I could find it. But you are back in that space, Melvin. You're back in that space where it seems like time stands still, and it seems like you're floating again in this outer space. You see the cosmos. You feel no wind. You taste nothing on your tongue. But you feel this peace, even though these visions are kind of almost like galaxies flashing in front of you, and it's really hard to tell exactly what happened or what they mean. And you're just floating there as Melodia again is nearby, but not in her fully physical form, like when she takes over your body. Just this weird kind of ethereal version of her. Yeah, you finally hear in the echoes of space this feminine, beautiful, but very tired sounding voice. And it says to you, "So good to see you, babes." But they're not appearing like they normally have been. That weird stream-like, almost looking like musical stanzas body. They're not appearing before you. You just hear their voice echoing in the ether. And they said, "Apologies, I can't be there with you this time. I am being pulled by so many prayers." And then the voice switches again. "Across the universe." More masculine. "Across the echoes of so many. Your echoes. I see them. Those of your friends. All of Kryn and beyond." And then it switches back to the feminine voice. "I feel that you need me now, Melvin. Why does your heart call out to me? Why does your song call out to me?"
Everything's gone wrong. I help because Father, it's gone. I don't have the power to help or save anybody. The entire village just burned up before I could even do anything, and even all of my magic as it stands now was nothing. Recognizing that this is probably
Yeah, and then Branchala, right? Branchala, the god of music and inspiration. I'm gonna turn down the music just a little bit. Says, "Ah, so you've seen failure, my beloved." Yes, I know of failure as well, and hopelessness, believe it or not. Each life lost, each prayer unanswered. I feel those. It is both the curse and the blessing I've been given. To truly understand you mortals, I can see your paths. And then the voice switches again to feminine. All the echoes. All the echoes. And then the voice kind of just keeps switching, like different kind of accents and voices. My story too, dear Melvin and dear Melodia, is also a failure. But that is why I exist. Despite the failure, I live to inspire, to try and inspire, to try to fight on. And I see that you have that. People look up to you, both. And then your ring starts to vibrate, your ring of Branchala, and you start to feel this energy flow through you. I'm being pulled by so many. but you, Melvin, you're deserving of whatever help I can give you. And then Brunchalla literally says, what do you desire? And you can decide your spells for your 4th level feat. And I think, do you have them already? You do? Okay, what are they? Maybe we can narratively weave this in.
Yeah. So the first one is Dimension Beam. That's a
Okay.
cantrip. So it's a spell that I can use at will. It has a
Okay.
DC save of 15, but it's an all or nothing sort of beam of like moonlight. It's
Oh,
almost
okay.
like a spotlight that sort of surrounds the enemies. And so if you can, but it's a complete all or nothing spell. Girl, like, so
It
you
does
take
damage or it
one
doesn't?
D8 plus my charisma modifier damage. And so it's an all or nothing spell. So if there's cover, it doesn't matter. But if they beat the DC 15 save, they um, get away. So Dimension Beam, that's my newest one. The other one I have is called Augury. Augury is the idea that by casting gem laid sticks, um, you or like some other sort of divination tool, you can kind of ask the spirits, the realms, the forces, this divine connection that Melvin has to inquire about what path you might take. It's not very specific, but you
Yeah.
can get a sort of feeling.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna jump in real quick here. So suddenly, as Brunchalla's like going through your emotions and your needs and feeling what you actually need right now, a hand reaches out of nowhere, out of the ether, and touches your head. And this is, you get augury. You suddenly learn augury. And you could say, I don't wish to give you my full extent to see the echoes of the universe, to see the paths of us all. But perhaps a taste of it, a small, small taste, could help you in your journeys, dear Melvin. So I think that kind of makes sense right there for that, since they've been talking about being pulled by so many and seeing all these paths.
The last power that I sort of got, Shield of Faith. That's a bonus action. So I target one creature of my choice. And so I give a +2 to your AC if there's concentration.
Okay, okay. Shield of Faith, is that one?
I'm sorry?
Is that the name of that spell? Sorry, Shield of Faith. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that one. Yeah, nice. Cool. Okay, with the like beam one, do you want it to be connected to the moons at all of Kryn? Or would you rather it be this weird special energy of love and rainbows, or I don't know, something like that?
I kind of picture it kind of like Sailor Moon's
Or like a
like
spotlight?
moon hitting love beam.
Okay, cool.
Psychedelic.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay. Then perfect. I say that maybe they just Brunchalla's just like kind of snaps their fingers and they're like, but we still need to have our pizzazz, even with despair. We still need to believe, and it's just this hand that's like floating in the air. We still must never give in, and then like you just see these spotlights like just kind of shooting out, shooting out, shooting out, and then I don't know if you want it to be a snap, but basically they teach you this ability, and then most important of all, and then you kind of feel like Brunchalla's hand like hold you like warmly, even though it's just one hand. It's kind of weird, but kind of nice. To protect those we love. Well, that is what we're all here for, always. And then the shield kind of appears around you, and then Brunchalla's hand kind of disappears. Melvin, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'll be able to see you again in quite some time, my dear. I'm being pulled by so many. It's difficult. Yes, I am a god, but it is a lot. Is there anything else I can help you with? Are there any questions or anything you wish to know?
I I need something to hit back at my enemies. I find my power too limited at range. No, but I actually have a spell for that. It's actually called
Okay.
Shatter. It's a second level invocation.
Okay, is this with the feet as well? Or is this something else?
Oh, oops. That's just part of the level up.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Throw that in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Throw it
yeah.
in there.
So it's in the chat. Spell save DC 15 or 14.
Oh, I see it.
Last 14. So 3d8
Holy
thunder
shit.
damage on a failed save.
Love it. Yeah, love it. So it's kind of like a wow, seems really strong. I'll need to double check it, but it looks like a yeah, it looks like a better Thunder Wave from what I can
Yep,
tell.
it
Because
is.
okay, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, because Thunder Wave normally comes from yourself. This looks like one that you can kind of aim. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot better. Because let me tell you, my old half orc buddy almost got killed by my own teammate because they Thunder Waved me.
Yep.
They killed a lot of other things, but they almost killed me. That's
3d8 is
okay.
no joke.
No,
I'm
yeah.
gonna enjoy picking up that many dice.
My guy was a big boy, so he was able to handle it. Cool. Yeah. So let's say, yeah, maybe these dark visions all of a sudden start to shatter with this loud sound. These shadows, these echoes of what might be happening in this world or maybe another world, whatever these visions might mean. Branchala starts to break them with this shatter spell and kind of shows you how it's done, and you now have access to shatter. What a cool sounding spell, and sounds pretty fun. Anything else, my dear? I hope these tools will guide you. You need not worship me. Just hold true to what inspires you and feel it in that ring.
Thank you, Broncala.
Is that your goodbye then?
Oh, didn't Branchala say that like they had to go?
They were saying they're willing to answer anything else. No, they're
Oh,
saying sorry, let me make
any
it clear. They're saying they might be gone for a long time because they're being stretched out so far with this war, with the people praying. So this could be your last time seeing Branchala in a very long time, my friend. Out of character.
how will I know what how to navigate this new military position the bronze bombers have? I don't know if I can trust the marshal. I don't know that she's all that good. The council makes me anxious. I mean, everything makes me anxious, but the council especially.
Yes, they're a strange sort, that lot. But Melvin and Melodia, just remember that. And then suddenly, two hands come out, and the soul keys appear, and kind of a head is forming, but it's kind of not really fully forming. And they say, remember that.
Many nights we've prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song.
And I won't do the whole thing, but they play fucking When You Believe. And you fully learn it. You feel it through your soul. You feel it through your spirit. You feel it through all the lyrics just bursting through you. And I feel like you join Branchala. Maybe I could skip toward the end real quick, where it's more. Let's see. Yeah, you guys sing together at the end, the big chorus. So you now know when you believe. Um, and you know this, normally you have to learn songs, right? You have to take time, but with Branchala, just the power of their performance and inspiration just like fills you up with this knowledge and this emotion immediately. So you now know the song When You Believe. And Errol, I actually want to take this moment to just say, like, I don't really know what these songs can do, but I'm willing to make them work in powerful ways, depending on a moment you use them. Some of them I do have some pretty clear ideas, although it's all hidden. Like it's all secret. I'm not really gonna tell too much about when might be a good time. But I'm willing to be flexible. I'm also willing to, like, I don't know, if you practice these songs, maybe your song of rest might be stronger, small buffs like that. One-time things like that potentially. So just keep that in mind. And we can talk about what that is. Maybe we can do some research. But you've never played Zelda, I'm guessing? A little bit? Okay. One Zelda that's pretty common. I'm kind of stealing off Zelda here a little bit, but I want to be more flexible. Where it's like, yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm a really sad person and I'm fucking angry and I hate life. And then like you kind of like talk to the villagers and they're like, yeah, that guy's really angry and sad, but he does love this one song from the forest over there. And then if you go and play that song, the person's like, oh shit, I'm happy again and maybe I'll help you. So something like that, if that makes sense. Kind of like there could be a world where it could open up a door to something. But I can also improv if you surprise me and I'm like, oh shit, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Cool. That's it. I won't do the whole song though, but they do that song. And it's
Well,
epic
thank you
and
for
and
indulging me in my obsessive Spotify Bard playlist.
yeah, I think you that was like the first song you sent me, I think, after I did that first pre-session. So I was like, I gotta fit this in somewhere. I thought it made sense in that moment. I was not planning to do that there, by the way, but you asked and it made sense. So yeah, that was Branchala's answer to all your struggles, is to just keep believing in yourself, have faith in yourself, believe in your friends, believe in love, and maybe have faith in Branchala too. And yeah, and like let's say like the stars are shining and bursting, and like it's just this again this epic, beautiful display. The weird kind of like spirits in this cosmos area, they're kind of like cheering and dancing. These weird little light beings. Maybe Melodia's playing some of the instruments again.
Got their spectral dollars out offering tips to the drag queen.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Melodia sneaks these weird fake spiritual money into their pockets. But then Brinchala's hands start to fade away again. And then they like their hands kind of come out of nowhere and give you a strong hug and say, just know I'll always be here with you. And then it changes to the feminine voice. Through heaven and hell, you'll always have me by your side. Is there anything else before I go with you? Oh yeah, how's Melvin feeling actually after like that performance and all this power? Like maybe that might help.
Wow, I think Melvin is feeling really just overwhelmed. I mean, when you meet with a deity, even though this is like the third time, you're still just overwhelmed because you're like actually seeing a god and feeling a god like touch you. So I imagine that with the tide and like the divine tide, as it were, it feels almost euphoric. It's kind of like a drunken feeling. It's like the best kind of high that's like got you relaxed, but also like energized. And then you're like really just feeling yourself. You can feel the vibrations of the universe, of the multiverse. That's probably how Melvin is
Yeah,
feeling. Melvin is on one right
nice.
now because seeing a god definitely seeing a god and the village burn all in one day is pretty intense.
But makes sense. Makes sense that they would come to you in this dark time. Yeah, do you say anything to them?
Well, I'll continue to keep the faith in you and myself, I guess. Melvin kind of says, a little unsuredly. And my friends, he
When you
says more
say when you say yourself, they like hold you really tight and they say, "You are great. You are fabulous, darling. Believe in yourself."
Melvin kind of makes a small like finger wave. Yes.
All right. And then yeah, and then like kind of more of these weird echoes, these weird booms, and these weird scenes that I kind of described earlier. More of them are coming. More of the battling starts happening. These giant worms colliding. A giant blue dragon heading at this purple worm. Um,
Can I ask Ron Collar what those are?
yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're starting to fade, and they're like, yes, I can't escape my thoughts. It's what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling and the prayers I'm receiving. It's everyone and everything I'm trying to help right now. It's It's the inspiration I'm trying to give to those who most need it. And they're echoes across our realm, across this world, and perhaps planes beyond. And they keep kind of bursting into different unique scenes. And you actually do see, for a split second, Vogler. You see some of the scenes that happened there again. You see the red dragons flying. You see Consaldi laughing as a red dragon starts burning Vogler. You kind of see it from her angle, from her perspective, as she's swooping down and just burning the great tree that was in the middle of Vogler, burning the brass crab, burning the fern gully inn, and just laughing and laughing and laughing until finally she sees the Riss family running, and then it fades out. So yeah, these are Brunchala's visions. These are Brunchala's thoughts. These are the people that Brunchala's being pulled by all over this realm, wherever else perhaps that they are being called upon. Gods are real in my world, and they are actually being called upon. So I kind of wanted to paint that picture a little bit here too, while also helping you, Melvin. But yeah, they're actually starting to kind of like bit by bit, like little specks of sand or dirt, anime style, disappearing. Their hands are starting to go away. Their face starts first kind of disappearing. And they still want to help you, even though they're kind of falling apart and going back into the ether. And they say, anything else, Melvin, before I'm pulled away? And they're just disappearing and disappearing. And then they just say, I'll always be here for you. And they've just gone. Cosmos. And then you go flying back down to Kryn. While this whole time, your diary that you got from Zoblob has written down all of this, all the visions, everything you saw, everything you talked about with Brunchala, all the spells, all of that is now written almost like a narrative in your diary. I forgot the name of it, but whatever that weird diary you got from Zoblob. It's like a dark or shadow thing or something. But yeah, so I didn't forget about that.
I didn't either.
Does anyone else want to dream? We don't all have to have dreams, but I did want to open the door if anyone thought that this was also my way to give. Now you have your level 4th feature. Errol, you're good to go. It's unlocked. If not,
I've had mine chosen for so long. I'm like, yes, I finally get to use it.
I felt like it was the only way I could do it. Divinely favored. I mean, who else? Cool. So if there's no dreams, just drunken nightmares maybe, you all, and by you all I mean the tent people, you smell some very pleasant aromas filling the port as the morning sun starts to rise. And yeah, you hear the birds chirping. You kind of hear some workers going to work, walking through these tents. Some of them might be grumpy. Some of them might be, just tired. But yeah, Lyx, what does this smell like?
We got warm bread, maybe some tarragon, some like earthy, mushroomy, cheesy, and maybe a little bit of meaty smell. And they're basically like a variety of giant biscuits with food in them, like stuffed biscuits.
Yeah, so we have all these warm bakery smells kind of filling the air. As you all, maybe actually everyone do constitution checks.
Me as well?
No, not you, Lyx, actually, because you're awake, obviously, and here. Nice. Yeah, Sneak, you wake up feeling great, even though you drank. You feel great, and you actually smell these great smells right away. Willow, you're a little more groggy, and I'll give you the choice to, like, maybe you smell something, you kind of hear some commotion, but you're still kind of, like, barely waking up. It's like, that midway of, like, fuck, do I get up, do I not? Sneak, you
Yeah,
feel
I think
like
it's
wide
more
awake,
of like
you're good.
I think it's more of like the way you wake up after like something really earth-shattering happens, and like for a split second you think it's a dream or it doesn't register as real, and then you start to like wake up and it's reality. I think that's probably where she's about at.
Nice. Yeah, like the day before you like, was that real? Um, and you're just like, I think it was. Because you're in a tent. You're in a tent at Calaman's docks. Melvin, actually, was the 14 you? I think it was, yeah. Oh, okay, because you did the spells that didn't like separate you. So Melvin, you also wake up, and you definitely smell these yummy smells, these baked good smells. Sneak, you immediately know. You're like, oh, this smells like Lyx is cooking.
I think we'll like head out of the tent. Melvin, I presume, would have bunked with Willow probably. So maybe kind of nudges Willow carefully, not awaken the barbarian woman too hard. Just kind of a poke.
Yeah, I kind of saw it happening where like yeah, I'm sure Melvin was in the tent with me, but I thought like Willow probably stayed up a little bit to make sure Derek got to sleep okay, knowing that he's gone through a lot and he's much younger than us. And then she went to sleep. So yeah, I guess we're all just in the tent together. So she'll slowly wake up. She's not gonna attack you for poking her a little bit.
So yeah, Sneak, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna wake up.
Your family's snoring next to you, by the way. Your family's just all knocked out. They couldn't care less about whatever's going on. They're just totally knocked out.
I think, like, honestly, I do that little stretch. I definitely smell Lyx's bread going on, and I do like, I don't know who I'm probably sleeping with my brother, let's say. So I kind of grab like the hammock I'm sleeping in, and I do like a little spin, and I drop out.
With
And
our
my
carrot
brother,
about.
yeah, and my brother falls.
Yeah.
And
He
I-
like he kind of like. Well, actually, let me do a dex check for him at disadvantage. Oh my god! Yeah, he fails. He rolled a 3. And yeah, he kind of like splats to the ground, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell, Stubbs?" And then he kind of like just like very dexterously still like grabs back the hammock and like spins himself back. He doesn't actually like get up with his feet. He just like lifts himself up and like kind of spins around and just almost like tucking himself while spinning. Maybe
Yeah.
used to these kind of waking up from you.
I'm gonna grab my bag, and then I'm gonna try to find my friends and find some of the bread I smell.
Yeah. Here, let me move you guys to the ports just so we're all on roll 20. So I'm moving you all back to the ports on roll 20 just so we know what we're looking at again. You can move around your people if you want to. We'll say, Lyx, where do you think you're set up? Maybe just somewhere kind of in this central-ish area?
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, you all see and you can help me, Lyx, if you want to. But yeah, you see, I guess Lyx on this weird like cart bicycle wagon thing. So it's like, the backside's kind of like a bike, and then the front side's this weird big wooden looking cart thing, very gnomish looking tool contraption with all kinds of weird little pop-ups and stuff, maybe for like salt and different things will add salt and different spices and such. And then all the baked goods on the main part of this giant cart, just steaming. People like Buff are already there, ready to chow down. Maybe Timmy, honestly, the little newspaper kid, he's over there too, like kind of excited to have a little morning snack. He was already setting up his tent to do his whole little spiel. And yeah, your parents are there, Lyx. And then yeah, everyone else you see these 2 older looking gnomes, not too old, maybe like middle-aged gnomes next to Lyx. Very Midwestern vibes about them. One of them, white-skinned, crystal clear blue eyes, very buzz cut hair basically that's graying. And then the gnomish ears and kind of the farmer beer belly going on. He looks like nicely grumpy vibe. if that's a thing. Just like not too excited with what he's doing, but passive enough. And then on the opposite end is this kind of long wavy haired brunette with also middle aged, brown eyes, gnome ears. Both of them obviously gnomish sized, 3-ish feet, both wearing very simple clothes, and the gentleman's actually wearing very ragged looking work clothes, and they're just like, oh, and then the woman is just like, oh, blessed paladine, free baked goods for you all. And yeah, and these are the Ruinils. Is there anything you want to add to that, Lyx?
I feel like you did a great job. Did we land on Dave and?
We could be lazy. I don't know I forgot if
Yeah.
you named them. I forgot to check. I think you may have named them.
Yeah. I
We
think
can
we were
be
joking
lazy.
about doing Dave and Donna.
Okay, we can be lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you all would have heard at some point that, assume that this is Dave and Donna Rutinil, the gnome bakers that Lyx helped out. And maybe stayed with sometimes during her time at Calaman. So yeah, one of them, both Midwestern gnome vibes, if that's a thing, and not the Cristian gnome variety, the fantasy gnome. And
Nice.
Yeah, and this is the scene. They're giving out these delicious baked goods. Buff is chowing down. And yeah, and the Dave is kind of grumbles to himself. He's like, a lot of good food there, yeah. Yeah, that's a good deal. You guys are getting a good deal, free, and it doesn't get better than that. That's quite a deal, yeah. And then the woman's like the woman's like being really kind to everyone, like shaking hands and saying, so sorry about everything that's happened. I pray to Paladine to save you all. Just talking a lot about Paladine. And yeah, go ahead, Lyx.
I was just gonna say that I think Bill Bricks and Waywin would have a very happy reunion with the Rutinils, and that Donna would be very concerned about the state that they're in, and like really just kind of hovering over them, like trying to be helpful, but maybe just making them more anxious.
Very happy, but also I forgot you have not seen your dad Waywin coming out on crutches.
Oh, I thought I had.
No, you didn't head back. Your friends saw him. He's heading out in crutches with Mayor Raven and Bill Bricks. Oh, I forgot about this.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, so you see this, your dad, on crutches with a fucked up right leg, kind of floating as Mayor Raven's really helping. And so it would be a happier reunion. Donna's definitely, distraught, but not trying to draw too much attention to Waywin's thing. And David is definitely like, oh, he's looking like pretty intensely at his leg and like not saying anything, but he's like, and that's kind of the scene. Like you're seeing your dad now injured coming over. And,
yeah. Well, I'm crestfallen, and I had set aside 2 of the veggie biscuits for him, and so I just like grab them and walk to him, maybe almost in tears, and
yeah,
and I just say, oh my God, I thought they would heal you.
Yeah. And like actually as he sees you, he's like pretty shocked and happy and emotional that he actually kind of like sort of stumbles into a crack with the crutches, with one of the crutches, but very skillfully catches himself with the right one. Kind of, I don't know, his arm dexterity coming into play here. I rolled for this. Probably fucked up roll, honestly. Yeah, so he catches himself very skillfully. He just says, there's some injuries that even the white robes can't fully heal unless it's immediate. It seems like my femur is broken, and it might take some time to heal, my little bird. But he kind of like hugs you and just is very happy to see you. And Bill Bricks kind of like whispers in your ear and says, I gave your friends an important note. Make sure you ask for it. Okay, good to see you. And he's referring to that kind of like little weird list of shit that he gave you guys.
Yeah.
So just
Lyx, I think Lyx is just kind of looking at the ground and taking notes that the white robes have failed. Not saying anything, but just kind of taking that in and cataloging that.
Yeah, and Mayor Raven kind of like jumps in. She says, "Yeah, I don't know too much about the Tide, but from talking to Fizban and just other Tide users, it seems like, you know, even they have limits to their powers. It's not all miracles, unfortunately." But she's like, "But right now this is a miracle," and she like kind of rushes it. She's like, "Are you good? Are you good?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then she like rushes into the cart and just starts like, you know, grabbing all kinds of baked goods. Baked goods being kind of Raven's weakness, as we can remember, and just starts going to town. Buff is over there, you know, chopping down food very joyfully. Holy shit, I'm forgetting everyone's names. But Dara is chowing down as well. Yeah, and this is kind of the scene. And then all of a sudden, you guys hear from way up above, as like almost like a tiny dragon, fucking Script, our journalist bird friend, appears out of nowhere in front of you all. So, oh shoot, let me share this real quick just as a reminder. Here's again our journalist bird friend Script, Skrip, with his goggles covered in soot and pollution. He's kind of like wiping them off with his feather hands, and then he like takes them off, and he's like, and like the birds are kind of on him again, and like one bird like is hopping on his head and shits again on the goggles, and he like puts it back on again real quick, and he's like, "Oh, get out of here, Charlie! What? Can't you see I'm trying to work?" And then he takes his goggles and puts them right back up, and he says, "Well, good to catch you all. I kind of thought you'd be here. And well, actually, I thought you'd be at the Spiral in jail, but it seems like you survived. Did you make it to the council? Did you actually?" And then he's kind of like looking at all these people that he doesn't know, except for, well, no, he knew Mayor Raven, but she left. He's like, "Are these trusted confidants?" And he's pointing at your dad's Lyx and like all these there and like, you know, the people of Bogler that are around who are just chewing on this food, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" Like Dave and Donna are like, "Oh," they're just kind of like confused.
Yeah, they're cool.
Oh, okay. Sorry, folks. Good morning to you all. Yeah. Is this a bad time? Am I interrupting something here? That smells really good, by the way.
You're welcome to have some if you want. And no, it's not a bad time.
Well, I realized I forgot to pay you all and give you a little doohickey that I got. I also did want to pry a little bit, you know, find out what happened and maybe be the first to get the scoop if you got the poop.
For your help, I think we'll gladly fill you in on a bit of what happened, but I'd love to read what you wrote about us first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so he has
the payment.
Oh yeah, payment depends on any more scoop you might give me. Might as well just bundle it all up in one, you know what I'm saying? So he's saying like if you give him more information, he might pay you more if you give him the good scoop. He says, "I still have the same headlines as before that I have somewhere saved." But basically, I think the headlines were something along the lines of Vogler attacked, you know, and Vogler attacked in Vogler's destroyed. They are now refugees in camps, and they're abandoned, something along those lines, that they're being abandoned by the city of Calaman. Because remember, he doesn't know anything about what happened in the High Council meeting. He has the something about Mayor Bakaris is fake. He's not the actual mayor. And then he might have like other headlines, maybe about like memorials-ish kind of things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So right now, the latest news he has about the issue is just before the meeting, basically.
Yeah, no, Willow was just making sure that he ran with the truths that we gave him, and also that we were shown at least somewhat favorably, that he didn't like do a 180 or something before we give him anything else.
Yeah, I have the headline here. Bogwins mount immense defense against invincible Red Dragon army. Left abandoned? So kind of like, against invisible Red Dragon army. Dash left abandoned, question mark? And then yeah, Bakaris not mayor. He does have information on Consoldi, you know, the accounts that you guys were able to provide. He has a little more details because he did talk to Mayor Raven. So he has more details on some names and some people. You know, Becklin's name is in there. Pujol, these are being regarded as heroes to the cause, as well as you guys, you know, you guys and the, but you guys aren't really like fully named. You're kind of just thrown into like kind of the defense of Vogler with the Calaman soldiers. So it's very generic. Captain Rodon's name is in there because he was technically the leader of Calaman's defense for Vogler. So that's what he has. So is there any more poop that you guys are gonna give him?
I'd like to start some shit.
Yeah, I would kind of pull, I guess, the group to the side and be like, we want to be diplomatic about this, but I think that we should give him some good information. It'll get us some good money, and he's also already helped us. We can use this to our advantage. I think we should probably, sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't think we should tell him everything. If
Oh no,
like,
not everything.
let's not tell him roles or anything or what we, but yeah, I agree.
No, and I don't mind poking a little fun at the council, but I don't want them to hate us any more than they already do. So maybe holding back on that a little bit too. But I'm also up for whatever the group wants to do. I just don't think that we should tell him quite everything, but I think he's earned some trust.
I think I'd like to pay Bakaris back even more after he was a jerk to us. So, Cristian, can I like start a rumor?
Sure.
Like, what kind of role do you? I'll roll for it.
What are you trying to say?
That just underscore that Bakaris is a jerk. The people of Vodclair do not think. Oh yeah. I also what Lyx says. I want to give an update on the Vogler community as a whole, but we're withholding that.
So
yeah,
maybe it's easier if I say, what are you not going to share? So
we're not going to share the military involvement.
That you guys are part of the military, okay?
Bronze bomb, like that name, Bronze
Yeah.
Bombers,
Yep.
doesn't appear in print.
Sure.
We're secret spies.
Cool.
And maybe we somehow give a little bit of a story, like we kind of made our way in, but were eventually invited, so we seem like less of people who break into premises.
Right.
We were Vogler ambassadors.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, like
Script.
we started by breaking in, but then we were invited.
Yeah.
Because he knows
and
we
maybe you guys throw in Derek too. He's like a Knight of Solamnia. Maybe he's kind of like the one who's like, oh, he's the warrior hero or whatever. So kind of spinning it that way. Okay, so basically you'll share everything kind of like about, Alastrius's mansion donation, the refugees going to the slums being refurbished. So basically Voglin's actually maybe having a chance here in Calaman after all. You're sharing that story, you're sharing just kind of the state of Vogler, even though these are good things, there's still unease around, and it's still an unfortunate situation. Oh, do you want to share anything kind about any of the council members, or unkind?
Yeah, I think the mentioning of the donation of the mansion is probably more than enough for Alastrius. I mean, it's
That's true.
true, but also, what else can we say at that point?
Right.
I don't really know what we can say about Nestra that wouldn't give away what we're holding back, because her whole thing was that she overruled the council so that we have some more autonomy. I don't really know how we sing her praises on that without explaining.
That maybe more so that she forgave the unexpected visit of the Voglin representatives, or that like she was very willing to listen to us.
Yeah, and she could tell that we were telling the truth. Yeah, I like that.
I would also want to maybe indicate to script or whatever about the perhaps nefarious deeds down at the dock. The no good doing down at the dock. I don't know. I was trying to be clever. Yeah.
Are you trying to
Yeah.
say like shitting on Thaddeus? What specifically?
That possibly there could be some potential money laundering, piracy, ne'er-do-welling, just all around such shit. I would like to indicate that hey, I got a tip that maybe from
Well, Thaddeus kind of
anonymous
like
source.
Thaddeus was a little like open about it, if I recall. Like you, Colton, and Thaddeus were like, I could use you guys for some stuff, and like it was like
Mhm.
very obvious what was going on there. So yeah, maybe sneak you picked up on your character, Thaddeus. So yeah, so Scorp actually responds to that sneak and says, he kind of like leans in. He says, "Careful how you talk about him around these parts, especially here in the docks. But I'm onto that sucker too, and I'm trying to get a good story." And then he kind of like jots down like more of what you just said to just get more details. He says, "I kind of have a big report on him. He's kind of a big thing I'm working on. So keep that on the down low between you. But it's good to know that there's other eyes keep paying attention to that scumbag."
We'll have to work closely on it.
Of course. And he's and Script is just like writing this all down. He's like, this is great, and I'm sure I'd be candid news to this. I'm gonna call it candid news, because that's the dog race, I think, of D&D, candid. So instead of fox news, I don't know. So candid news, another animal species thing running a news thing for some reason. That's my theme, I guess. And he's like, you guys didn't talk to any of them, right? And he's kind of like jotting down like everything that you're sharing, clearly showing no interest in whatever secrets you might have about your powers or who the hell you guys really are. He seems quite.
Don't worry, we didn't talk to DNN either.
I like that. What's the D stand for? We can figure that out later. Is it dragon something?
Dungeon News Network.
Dungeon News Network. Yeah, you guys can definitely come up with more terrible news things if you want to. Yeah, so Script is going to town. He's just so into this great information. And then he says, well, that is quite the poop. And then he says, he kind of says the slogan, for the truth, for the people, for the poop. And then he goes, he kind of does his weird little thing as the birds kind of like fly around him like happily. He's like, wow, and he's like kind of talking to them. You guys need to step up your game now. These guys are journalists. And then he says, if you guys ever have any good scoop, I need you guys good poop. I need you guys to call me so I can bring the scoop. And he brings out this weird, again, gnomish looking contraption thing that kind of looks like a bird beak with a weird speaker looking thing and then like a wind up tool. I don't have a great name for it. I'm just gonna call it the wind up bird. It can be the shape, the mouth, the face of any bird you guys want. But basically you wind it up. It takes like 10 seconds to wind it up. Timmy actually used it, and it makes this loud kind of like bird sound that will call Scoop. Only in Calaman. He kind of has to be nearby, so you kind of have to guess sort of where he might be. But you guys can now call him as he is semi-hiring you all to be little investigators for him, a little investigative journalist to get some poop. You guys give him pretty good poop. He gives you each 30 gold. You each get 30 gold for your poop, which is quite a lot of money for pretty much just information. Squawky Talkie, that's really good. That's really good. I like Squawker too, but Squawky Talkie's kind of perfect. All right, you guys can call it the Squawky Talkie and throw it in your bag of holding, or I don't know if someone wants to hold on to it forever. But yeah, it takes a while. Let's say it takes like an abnormal amount of time for it to like charge up. We could say a 1 minute casting time of this giant bird call. Unless maybe you can do a strength check and then you go like crazy with your wind up game. Cool. Yeah. So exactly. He's like, well, duty does call, but is there anything else you guys want to share with me before I head out? And then he actually says, oh yeah, you guys are new too. Here, and he gives you a map of Calaman. So we have, I'll just say that he's the one. It kind of makes sense for him to do that. So I'll move you over back there on Roll20. Just the map I've been sharing a bunch. And yeah, I know it's a lot, but obviously, in due time, we'll see more of these things. Yeah, so We can, so yeah, to be super clear, this session's kind of open now. We can go shopping. You guys can keep interacting with NPCs. We can time skip if you guys just want to, like, I don't know if you did want to go to nighttime and go see the scary temple. But also, yeah, if you want to buy stuff, you want to stock up, try to make money, whatever you want to do, we can do that. I think we could take a break. We could take a 10-minute break soon. I'm also happy to kind of answer questions, maybe ask script about the map, about places, if that might help. So yeah, you guys kind of think of what you want to do.
A few minutes later.
Can I have some bread?
Oh yeah, I suppose it's quite the deal. It's free. And then he gets some of the bread, some of the pastries, and gives you a little plate of it. And Donna, it kind of looks at you just smiling with her hands together, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about what happened, but we're so happy to help you all. Oh, blessed Paladin will protect you all." And she's just like very cheerful and just kind of exudes this positivity. While Dave is kind of just like, "Oh,
Good, good Lady Root Meal is the Temple of Paladin nearby? What might we find there? I'm not very familiar with temples.
oh yes, yeah, we have a few temples, but the main one is south of the Great Hill. And yeah, it's glorious. It's just beautiful. And well, right now there is a lot of refugees staying in there and being tended to. Sir Fizban, actually, well, he's not actually a sir, but he's such a gentleman that I call him sir. He kind of helps oversee that temple. And yeah, and you kind of remember that Fizban's been this guy in the background, just kind of helping out the Voglins. He wears that simple gray cloaks, kind of looks like a monk. And she just says, "It's a great place if you need to find any peace with Paladin and all that's good in this universe." And then David's like, "Yep, it does get in the way of work though. Yep, it does, I suppose. Could really use some hard workers, you know."
Out of curiosity, what other places of worship are here? What other deities are present here, I guess?
Oh, well, there's all the deities of good. There's Kiri Jolith out at the Knight of Solamnia quarters, of course. You know, he helped kind of find all of them. There's obviously the Solinarian Lunitari worship centers in the Knowledge District with the red robes and the white robes. And then she kind of like goes on to explain some of the most popular good or neutral deities only. You kind of notice some, as she's explaining, she does point out the statue of Habakkuk, which is like the water ocean god of good, kind of like the Poseidon of Kryn. Kind of see the statue of this being with long hair and I guess a trident. Fuck, I don't know. I didn't think of Habakkuk. Maybe they're riding like a big like seahorse looking creature. And yeah, she kind of lists mostly the gods of good, mainly Paladin. And then the big god of neutrality that she brings up is Gillian. Gillian, the god of knowledge, the god of knowledge and truth. In the Knowledge District, there's a lot of he doesn't really have a temple, but there's a lot of like, shrines and statues, and kind of like that whole northern center, right, of information is based around the idea of Gillian being, what unites us, what is, neutral to all is just knowledge, the knowledge to learn. So she kind of gives a little bit about that, but really, really hammers home Paladin and how amazing Paladin, the great platinum dragon who has saved us countless times, how great Paladin is.
Yeah,
and
I
for
guess
those of you,
Willow's just. Oh, sorry.
sorry, yeah, for those of you who don't know Paladin, they're also known as Bahamut, maybe in Final Fantasy, or in Faerun in the normal D&D, Taural planet. So, but it's also Paladin. So I guess, I don't know if it's a spoiler, it's just lore. But on Kryn, they refer to Bahamut as Paladin, just like his adversary, right, Takhisis, is also known as Tiamat. So they're the two opposing forces. And it seems like in between that is Gillian, this new god that maybe you guys know some about, but mostly news. But yeah, I mean, she kind of like rants, honestly. She kind of goes off, kind of blabbering. It's a little hard to keep up with exactly what she's saying. If you want, I'll let you guys can either interrupt her, jump in on a specific thing, or maybe if there is a specific god I'll let you make a religion check or a check to try to pay attention or something, or I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I was gonna let her go on as long as she wanted, but without letting on at all or mentioning it, I think she's just listening for anything about like the Raven Queen potentially.
Nothing on the
Okay.
Raven Queen, nothing on Nuatari, nothing on Takesis, noticeably, nothing on all these beings maybe associated with darkness, with potentially evil. Yeah, nothing on them. Yeah, I've actually realized as a DM, sometimes it's easier for me to say, for me to ask, like, what don't you tell them, as opposed to like, what do you tell them, or what do you want to hear for? So that's helpful. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, she talks a lot about Solinari, right? The white moon, the white maiden in the sky that lights up our path even in our darkest times. So you can tell she's pretty devout, especially for Paladine. She actually has kind of like a wooden little symbol of his symbol, which is kind of this weird little triangle thing. It might not show up too great here. I could share it later. Oh no, that's Habakkuk. I'll share it later, but it's kind of like a pretty triangle that's platinum. But yeah, actually, I can look it up if you guys have more questions or more chatter.
I guess Melvin sort of looks towards the group. um, Melvin looks towards the group and sort of asks, does anybody need anything from the market? I realize I sort of left a little bit faster than I would have liked to.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I need to go shopping.
I'm willing to see what the city has to offer.
Donna, thanks so much for letting me help you all in the kitchen and sharing all of your wonderful foods with Wagler.
So she's kind of clutching this like wooden version of that very humble little necklace. She says, "Yes, of course, little Lyx. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, you're so special. I love seeing that you're doing well and you have all these new friends." And Dave's like, "Yep, it's good. Would be really nice to have you back on the bakery. We need a full-time person. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Yep."
I'll think about it. And then the next time, sorry, Binks is barking at me. The next time that Donna mentions Paladine, I'm gonna subtle do gust.
Okay.
So I don't do the verbal or somatic anything. So she's just gonna feel like
my
the
God.
breeze on her neck the next time that she like invokes Paladine.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
To kind of set that up, I think before we depart for shopping, Willow's gonna take 2 gold coins and hand it to Donna, and thank her for the food and say that this is a gift for your kindness for Paladine for whatever you would like. And she's also gonna slip 2 to the husband because he's clearly not loving the freebies, but he did go along with it. So
yeah, I mean, this is a lot of money. This is actually quite a lot of money especially for baked goods. Maybe even covering the amount that they brought by a little not. But yeah, they're super happy and ecstatic. And actually, queuing up, Donna says, "Oh, thank blessed Paladine," and then like Marilyn Monroe, I guess, her little medieval gown is kind of like being gusted by this wind that Lyx is controlling with her mind, but without doing any kind of verbal or somatic things. Because she's a weird sorcerer that can do that. And so Donna just looks like, for some reason the wind's going around her. And David's also actually takes a step back. He's like, "Oh!" He kind of surprised. And yeah, I mean, your dads are there, Lyx, and they're like, "Oh." And like Bilbrick's kind of like looks at you for a second, Lyx, but is confused. Waywin is just surprised. But you maybe get the impression that Bilbrick somehow thinks you're involved with whatever that was. Despite all your efforts, right? He knows you so well. Yeah, despite literally crazy magical powers. So that happens. They're super happy, and you both give them 2 gold each. And yeah, David's like, "Oh, that's a good deal. That's a real good deal there. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, yeah, blessed Paladine or what? Yeah, yep." And he kind of does like a quick little prayer thing, kisses his little like necklace, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good deal. Okay, it's gonna be a good day." Yeah, just very weird Midwestern vibes. Yeah, sorry if anyone's Midwestern, by the way. This is my terrible impersonation of that. Yeah. So and actually, a Scoop is still kind of hanging around, or Script, sorry, not Scoop. And he's like, "Well, enjoy the map. You guys need anything else from me before I head out?" He kind of like puts on his goggles, and you could tell he's ready to roll. And he just kind of like towers over you guys. He's pretty tall. And then he's like, all right. And then he starts flapping frantically, like frantically while still standing. And he starts floating slowly. And he's like, for the truth, for the people, for the poop. Scoop! And then he just fucking launches into the sky, just scoop as it kind of like, his voice goes away. Some of the birds follow him, right? And he just starts flying around into the city. So he's gone. And you guys have your squawky talkie. Awesome. So what next?
Are we all like kind of alone, crowding over the map?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, Lyx is like scanning. Yep, I knew the Crescent Moon Lake was over there. And now is the opportunity that I'll take to share what happened to me last night and share that we need to go to the Crescent Moon Lake tonight at midnight. I think it will help all of us become stronger and more capable. And I'd like you all to come with me. But if you don't want to come, then I think I'm still just gonna go.
Melvin is shocked.
So
his
sorry, to add context
demand.
real quick. Lyx, you say everything, right? Everything about the witches, everything about what they told you, kind of, for the most part.
Everything.
Yeah, so you guys all know now that scene that happened, that we ended last session with. Creepy witches talking to Lyx in black robes, saying like the white robes and the red robes are going to come for Melvin and Lyx specifically to force them into their school, because the tide cannot be used without their permission, basically. And they hinted that Governor Miat might already be telling them about this. So you're on their radar, both of you. And then they said everyone else can learn more about their darkness and whatever that means.
Well, I don't like it, but I think I like the idea of them coming for me. Less, at least if I'm gonna be scared, I can be scared on my own terms.
There's a lot of things happening, and I think we need to investigate anything we can investigate for any type of clue that we can get. So I'm in.
I love that. That's like the most sneak response to this dangerous, like super temple. Like, fuck it, let's get some info.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Lyx looks to Willow knowing that this might be the hardest though.
Yeah, I'm not particularly excited at the idea of finding out what darkness is in me, especially considering the last 24 hours. But I mean, hell, if I'm gonna let you guys go alone, so I guess we're all in for this. Just keep an eye out for me, I guess.
We'll protect one another.
Okay, yeah, and I feel like that this is real, like that weird silence of like, what is going on? We're, I guess, gonna go around, and actually, as you're having this conversation, could you all do a perception check? Okay, nothing for Lyx. You're just focused in on your friends and talking here. Nothing for Sneak. Also focused in on this pretty intense combo. Nothing for Willow. Willow, you're shocked. You're like, oh god, here we go again. Like, what is this group of homies? What do they keep getting me into? Oh, okay, none of you noticed anything. You're just in your circle, looking at this map, chatting, and life goes on. Awesome. Okay, no one noticed anything, Abby, just so you know.
Yeah, I could still hear. I just had to get things in.
Yep. Love that. Hey, it's a city. I mean, it's a city. I'm kind of, it could be mundane. It could be very important. There's all kinds of stuff happening. You guys notice who rolled the highest? Sneak, I think. Sneak and Willow. No, Sneak and Lyx. Yeah, with your 9s. You notice Buff kind of following the root eels, actually. And like maybe he's gonna inquire about a job or something. And yeah, Lyx, your dad's going away, kind of resting near the docks. Sneak, you might notice that your family's not around, but you're sure that they're goofing off in the city somewhere doing God knows what. That's it though. Cool. All right, what next?
Should we go? Do we need to
going?
stop? Should we go to stores before we charge on, or? Because I could use an armory.
Okay, so if we want to do that, we could go to the war chest to start and then head to the apothecary.
Let me
Or
pull
just
up.
carry my speed right now.
Let me pull this up and we'll inspect it again. Sorry. So you said The apothecary is where you're trying to go?
I'd like to, but we can start at the war chest, like kind of do a little loopy.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're pretty
And
near
then
each other.
and then where is the the thing where we're gonna go, the moon or whatever?
That's
not-
yeah, that's south.
It's outside of Calaman.
Perfect.
So-
Okay, so yeah, we could hit War Chest, the apothecary, and dip out of town.
All
And
right.
we'll walk through the city market. So I guess like there could be things that
Oh,
catch
okay.
our eye for Bill Brix's items. Does that sound good to
Sure.
everyone?
Yeah.
Do you want to start there first, and then we can hit the War Chest, and then the apothecary, and then dip out of town?
Yeah, because we'll be coming from the main fort, correct?
Right.
Yeah, you guys are over here.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool, cool. That sounds good
Cool.
to me.
All right,
Perfect.
let's do that. That's a solid plan.
Cool. So you guys are kind of walking through the city market again. Again, this giant city market, all kinds of tents and little booths everywhere. People of all races, selling all kinds of wares and goods. Noticeably not really weapons, not really many magic things, right? It's more mundane stuff, more food, that kind of stuff. Maybe, yeah. So kind of a random. Just imagine like a massive random flea market, medieval flea market. So you guys see like minotaurs. You guys see all kinds of people. You actually do see minotaurs in these weird white robes, kind of like preaching to people, saying something. It's hard to tell from your angle. They're kind of on this little platform, a couple of them, and just shouting out something at the people, the crowd there. But otherwise, it's just people going about, buying, selling, maybe trading, a couple of people drinking. This is the middle ring, right? So this is kind of like this is what unites the middle class and the low class of the city. Maybe nobles will come here every now and then, but mostly that kind of vibe of people filling in. You hear laughter, you hear glasses clanging, you see some nice banners too of Calaman's colors around, maybe some street musicians playing on the side, kind of playing like different tunes. This is a very, very loud section of the city. Some of them some of them are kind of like little bands, some of them are more solo artists, a couple duets here and there. But yeah, it's bustling. Imagine medieval fantasy, fucking D&D people everywhere, all kinds of noises. If my volume wasn't so crazy loud, I would.
Yeah, I just got so inspired. Sneak is just kind of so inspired being down here, like obsessed with the market and seeing how Calaman's market's set up and how it's different from Bogler. It's almost like being in a completely different country. There's like kind of different things he hasn't, that he's not used to seeing. So since he's here in the city market, he's been inspired. He would like to see if he can find a new vendor that sells masks or something of the sort. So Sneak could maybe get a new mask instead of the one he has now. Maybe he can find him something new. Maybe he'll cover his whole face, or maybe it's real spooky. I don't know. So
Yeah. Okay,
I'd love to
that.
find some fabric. So like a mask seller, fabric,
Sure.
person, like fashion store.
Yeah, maybe even something like for Calaman too, that's like Calaman related, that I could be like, oh, they helped me, I'll fucking support them, or maybe I'll find something bronze. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so you do find, actually, through investigating, it takes some time, maybe like 10, 15-ish minutes. You do find a very strange person with all kinds of fabrics and clothes and masks, and they're actually wearing a weird-ass mask themselves. And they have just this kind of unsettled, uncanny smile, and they're just like really friendly to everyone, but like overly friendly. And they see you Sneak, and they're like, kind of almost like a Zoblobby vibe, but something else is going on here, a little kookier. Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. How can I help? Wait, that's too Zoblobby. Welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. How can I help?
I'm searching for masks, my friend, and it seems I've come to the right place.
I would say so, and there's just all kinds of masks hanging around. Oh, were you asking for, or Melvin, what were you asking for? Fabrics, cloth, like costume stuff?
What do you make your masks out of?
All kinds of things. I collect them from all over. Some of them stumbled upon me.
He makes his masks of people. Melvin kind of like whispers to Willow, but you can't hear.
So he whispers
I
that.
Nick, are you finding anything?
It's very, maybe this is uncanny to all of you, but Sneak, I think. Sneak, you're not scared. Like, as a Kender, this is like, huh? You're just like, yeah. And you can come up with a mask if there's a mask you want, Colton / Sneak.
Okay, I know so I wanna get something metal kind of on my cheeks and on the front. And I want it to be like, I don't know, I want the eyes, my little tattoos to stick out, and I want my beard
Oh,
to
okay.
stick out. But I want like metal here and then metal here. So maybe like bronze or black
So
and bronze.
your mouth and beard are going to be visible now for the first time
Mhm.
because it's been covered by this cloth.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Correct.
this will be a first for everyone. Okay. Yeah, he's like, oh, you got good taste. And then he like kind of like rummages through his weird things. The masks are like all hanging, by the way, on strings. And he's kind of like going through a bunch of the masks that are like hanging around on these strings. And he pulls out pretty much exactly what you asked for. He's like, ooh, this is metal. It's a good metal. Just 1 gold. Just 1 gold. I just love showing mask. It's so fun.
Done.
There you go.
100%
You have
done.
this mask for 1 gold.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, he's definitely gives a creepy clown kind of vibe, whoever this person is. I'm gonna say that they are yeah, they have this weird ass mask. You can see their mouth like me. Maybe they kind of look like me but have really long black hair and yeah, and they look like maybe they might be an elf or a half elf. And they're just like, any other mask or any friends? I see your friends back there. Do they like masks? And he's just kind of looking at you guys now, Lyx and Melvin and Willow, and he's just like, just this painful smile.
No, I'm good with the
gosh.
one I got.
You're not wearing a
I-
mask, dear. Or I guess we all are, right? Is that what you meant? I love that.
I
I feel
actually,
like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would actually love for you to pick bronze. I'm gonna assume my mask is like little bronzish, okay?
Oh,
I would
sure.
like for you to pick 1, 2, 3 bronze masks for my friends on me. And they don't have to wear them, but it's just a token of my appreciation to them. Give them the
Oh, I
best
know.
ones that would fit them and their personalities.
Oh,
And
okay.
I will spare no expense.
Oh my
But
God, yes! Yes, I rolled an insight check on him and he rolled a natural 20. Okay. So what he does is he actually steps out. He kind of like steps out from around his booth and he really looks at all of you. He's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm picking up your vibes really good. I have good insight, you know? And he's just kind of going to each one of you and just like kind of like bouncing up and down and say, oh, I have just the thing for each of you. And he rolled a fucking natural 20. So he brings out bronze mask for all of you. It'll be 3 gold. Let me think. For Melvin, it's kind of like it's like, you know, the faces, the fucking like white faces that have like the different
The
expressions.
Janice.
Is that what they're called? What are they
Yeah,
called?
Janice. Like,
Janice. Yeah. So it's bronze. And it looks like kind of like a nervous one. He's like, I think this one's good for you. And then for Lyx, he brings out one with horns, a bronze mask with horns and that's smiling. This one really fits your vibe, dear. And then he looks at you, Willow. He's like, oh, you're a mysterious one. So it's got to be this one. And then he gets a little, it's actually just a bronze circlet. And it's just like a chain, just like a nice little chain like thing that kind of covers your face. That's it. So it's no expression, no nothing. It's just like almost like what's it called? Kind of like, you know, if you think of like a desert garb almost, but it's all bronze chains kind of covering your face.
that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was gonna put it in my bag, but I think I'll actually put that on. That's sick.
Yeah, it hides your face completely, actually. You can see through it. It's not you won't have amazing perception with it, but it's there. It hides your face. And yeah, obviously, Melvin and Lyx, this also hides your faces. So Lyx, you have a scary bronze demon guy mask. Melvin, you kind of have like an anxious looking Janice mask that's bronze. He's like, oh, you look so great. What do you guys think? I think you look great. And then he actually
I
takes off.
Love it.
he looks away from you all, reaches in to grab something, and then puts on another bronze mask that's like smiling all the way. So now his other mask is gone. He's like, this is how I feel now from this. And he's just kind of like bouncing around. He's like, love masks. Don't you all love masks? And now you can't see his face at all.
I think Melvin is really curious as to who's behind the mask, but wouldn't dare ask about it. I think he kind of looks to the bronze verse, like maybe Sneak doesn't get it. I hope Sneak is like getting the look.
Yeah, oh yeah. You guys all see Sneak's mouth and is it Ginger? Ginger chin? Chin beard? You guys all see Sneak's mouth and Ginger chin beard for the first time now that he has kind of this bronze. It sounds almost like a Robin or Batman-esque mask.
Yeah, I
bronze.
still wear the hood, but I've decided instead of this hood, it'll just be like this with like a little medal here maybe, and then
really big eye holes too, so you can still see your tattoos.
Right.
So I don't know if you all react to kind of seeing more of Sneak's face for the first time. It looks similar-ish to Smart, but yeah, your friend again, Sneak, has changed his look completely.
I'm just wanted to give you guys all these masks because, I don't know, kind of seemed fun. If we have some like badass battles and I'll suit them, just look all hard as fuck, dude. Anyways, put it in your inventory, you ain't gotta wait.
I'll have to adjust it so I can see, but yeah, I'm down.
This will be so cute for missions.
All right, anything else with our weird mask friend?
No, let's get the fuck out of here. That guy's weird.
He does notice something on you, Lyx. On your garb, he sees the Zoblob patch. He's like, Zoblob, is he in town? Oh, phew, I need to get some trinkets of his. And that's it, unless you say something.
No, I don't know. He was in Bogler when that existed. That's when I last saw him.
Oh, right. Okay, yes, for the Kingfisher. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And he's just giggling behind his mask. Clearly insane, like just an insane person. A passionate person. Cool. So Lyx, you go ahead and do an investigation check. What are you looking for? You're gonna need to be a little more specific. I know you're looking
I'll look for the wheels because I think he needs about 5 wheels, some smaller, some larger.
Okay, roll investigation.
17.
Yeah. You actually do find like a wagon repair guy, or gal. Let's call it a dwarven gal. A dwarven gal wagon repair gal, has all kinds of wheels and wagon accessories, very focused on the carriage. Some horses around, kind of like a mini little stable setup. Smells like horse poop. The horse poop is kind of countering the good smell of the food that was around until now. And yeah, she's kind of just sitting crisscross applesauce, big black beard kind of touching the ground, sipping on what looks like calf or tea or something. And just vibing. So, okay, sorry, yeah. Oh, you guys looking for a wheel or some shit? Yeah, I got wheels, obviously. What does it look like? What do you need? What size?
I am looking at the list and trying to decipher Bill Brix's like very poor handwriting. I am looking for 2 to 3 small wheels and 2 medium to large wheels.
Yep, I got them for you. What do you want? What material? We got wood, copper, and iron.
Brix is like looking around, thinking about it. Maybe iron?
10 gold.
Okay.
No. See if you can do it for like 8.
Oh, we got a haggler, huh? Why should I do it for 8?
Why? How do you feel 10 is? It's iron.
And she's actually got like these weird tattoos like all over her face. She's very grizzled. Like this is a tough looking dwarven woman, and she's kind of just eyeing you with no fear.
It's iron. It's not copper or gold. It's iron.
You really think that iron wheels?
I mean, just put it in the fire, spin it in circle, and poke a hole in it, dude. Listen,
do a persuasion check.
I'm nervous. I didn't know what to do.
Oh Lord. Does anyone want to help our boy Sneak?
I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration.
Okay, we'll say that you used it before the street haggling, before like kind of the vendors. So how much is that? Is it D6, D10?
D8? Did I think I increased with level.
Okay, I believe you especially for now. Like this is kind of low stakes. Roll a D8, Colton. So just a D8, and you're gonna add this to your 6. Okay, that's definitely better. Yeah, and the dwarf kind of like leans in and looks at you. 9 gold.
You have a really cool look. I wonder if you might want some very cool work gloves. And I'll pull out the pallid gloves with the ivory fingernails.
And she
This
looks
would
at it.
might complement your
ivory?
style.
Can I see them? Can I hold them real quick?
Yeah,
Can I
for
hold
sure.
them? Sorry, it's more of like a gruff voice. Okay, she grabs them and kind of like investigates it. Kind of grabs this little like monocle stretching thing, little like telescope thing. Oh yeah, that's real ivory. Where the fuck did you get this?
Zoblob's
I'll
training.
do 5 gold. 5
What?
gold in this thing.
No, that's real ivory. Just take the ivory.
5 gold in this thing, and that's my deal.
I'll take it, Sneak. I'll take it.
No,
Alright.
no,
No.
Are you guys saying no? Are you guys saying
no,
that out loud?
I just don't think that it's worth your nice gloves. Those are boots the house down, Lyx. Don't give up your cunty gloves.
These are an aesthetic item. I'm giving you half off for an aesthetic item.
Can I try to roll persuasion?
But what's your setup?
The
What you
setup?
just said? What you just said?
Well, no, I'm gonna get really close to her and be like, ma'am, we've had a really rough day. I really need these wheels.
All right, roll the persuasion.
Willow is just in the back.
What? What? How is that so high? What is that? Oh my god, you got a +9. Holy fuck. Okay, bards, I forgot. That's kind of what the thing. You rolled a 17. She kind of like sees the tears in your eye. I'm imagining they're kind of forming. And like this brute woman for a split second shows like the smallest moment of like weakness. And she's like, fine, I'll just take the gloves, take the wheels.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, get out of here. And tell them about my shop. Deals for wheels, obviously.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Thank you, ma'am. You're such a kind soul. We'll tell everybody about the good works for
You're the
deals for
best.
you.
All
It's
right,
meant to be
yeah.
manipulation.
And then she's like kind of
So-
playing with the gloves, like kind of like touching the ground and like actually looking kind of goofy. Sorry, Willow, were you saying something?
Oh, just for that whole exchange of like all of that, Willow was just at the back, just like, this is going worse. And then it got better, and she's like, I wasn't part of it. That's fine.
And you have your mask thing on, right? Do you have it on?
Yeah, sure. I'll still have the
Okay.
mask thing.
Yeah, cool. I'm guessing Lyx and Melvin did not have theirs on. I don't think I would have.
No.
Yeah, that would have been scary. Oh, this is great. I was not expecting this session to go this way, but I kind of love this. All right, what else?
Should we
These
get out of?
these characters are totally improv, by the way. I have no idea who the fuck they are.
Dude, you did so good. You pulled that mask out of nowhere to be the
Yeah.
mask seller. That was amazing.
It worked. It was good timing. Oh my god. Thank you guys. Thank you. That was great.
Should we get out of City Market and start heading to the armory? Or is there anything else you guys want to do? All right, let's go.
War chest, war chest.
So you arrive, you start walking your way to the war chest, bustling through the city. The city's very lively at this time. It's probably like the late morning now, almost early afternoon. After all you guys' shenanigans in the street markets. Yeah, and basically like, right, the city market's kind of like the Kingfisher Festival times like 5, and it's just always there. So kind of to put that into perspective. And yeah, you make it to the war chest, and this is a very strange place. It is a repurposed round courthouse. So it looks like this white building, kind of this classical style white courthouse building, which has all these huge openings that were made, so kind of like maybe blown up or something around each side of this giant courthouse, where all kinds of horses are coming in with wagons. I mean, all kinds of soldiers are everywhere taking stuff out, probably mainly toward the trade gates, but also maybe toward the Castle Calaman itself. Super bustling, all these huge openings. But it does look like there's an entrance up this large kind of white staircase that leads into this courthouse, kind of columns, classical columns entrance. There's guards everywhere, soldiers everywhere. It looks heavily fortified. All kinds of giant bags and weapons being brought in and taken out and moved around. Very bustling. Security is super high. Do you guys just walk straight in, or is there anything you do just seeing this place from the outside?
I think, yeah, I might maybe, yeah, can I do an investigation check to see if there is any danger?
I mean, right off the bat, there's guards everywhere, right? Soldiers, but are you looking for a
Something out of the
specific kind of danger?
ordinary. Yeah, something out of the ordinary.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead, do it.
All right, an investigation check. Give me a second.
Oh shit, that's great. Okay. You do notice a strange robed individual in black robes, kind of chilling in like an alleyway nearby. Definitely out of clear view of guards, but they look roguish. They look kind of like you, Sneak, or someone in your family, but they look tall, they look strong. They have dark skin. It's hard to tell exactly what their race is or what they are. Perhaps masculine, but hard to tell. Very tall, very strong looking. You can definitely tell that they're hiding weapons, and they're kind of just in a random alleyway with their head, against the wall, leaning on the wall, head down. And I'm gonna say, I'm not saying this is danger necessarily, but this is something that catches your eye that you're like, oh, that's out of the ordinary. Everything else is normal people walking around, and the guards everywhere.
I think I'm gonna just keep that to myself and just be like, well, shall we go in? Let's go.
Cool. I like that though. Yeah, so you guys climb up the staircase. You enter the war chest, which is this giant, again, kind of like courthouse looking building, round ceilings at the top, except it's totally repurposed. It's sprawling with wooden platforms and ropes, wooden ladders, crates filled with weapons and armor everywhere. So I'm talking like multiple platforms throughout this whole courthouse. It kind of looks like it's being constructed, but it's not. It's just for moving stuff around at different levels to be efficient. You see all kinds of guards and workers moving weapons around. This is, Calaman is kind of in war, right? Kryn definitely is. So Calaman right now with wartime is heavily busy. So this place looks totally slammed. All kinds of people moving around and moving stuff around. And then suddenly you all notice that among the busyness of the ground floor, in one large corner, there is a massive counter with a very serious looking elf woman who looks like she's working tirelessly on some sort of parchment reports, just writing a bunch of stuff, talking to some guards and maybe workers every now and then. There really doesn't seem to be anyone in front of her counter. It looks like that is the place to go to approach and purchase things. Yeah, but you guys see all kinds of beautiful, shiny weapons, armor, shields, all the sort mounted behind the woman, spreading dozens of feet across the wall behind her. And then on one section of the wall, to all of your astonishment, you all see the bombs of Nomengard. You see bombs, a stockade of bombs placed on the wall with bags and such. You see your iconic bombs that Humruruth gave you all. And behind that counter, you all see this person. And we're gonna take a break after this because I gotta use the bathroom. But you see Kaylin Amastasia, kind of this middle-aged elven woman, looking very serious, working on parchment. She's not even looking up at you. She hasn't even noticed you guys at all. And we will leave it at that, actually. And we'll take a 10-minute break again. We'll get back at the new hour for you all. And cool.
A few minutes later.
But yeah, so shit, we're back in the war chest, where you guys see. I'll probably say that you guys know her name. Maybe she's a bit notorious at the war chest. Kaylin Amastasia. So Kaylin, shit, I guess she should have a title, but I didn't really think about that. But kind of like the head record keeper of war and all these items and. Kind of inventory specialist, Amastasia. There we go. She's there just scribbling away on some parchment, kind of commanding some people, and just going to town on her work. It looks very serious, very focused, kind of middle-aged elf, so probably past 100, maybe past 200. Actually, yeah, probably like definitely in their 200, 300s range. Yeah, what do y'all do? It's bustling. There's soldiers and guards everywhere. No one really shopping though. No one going up at the counter, so the counter is totally open.
Do we want to split up or do we want to stay together, pull our list together and hit it one by one?
Let's stay together, pull our list together. So Melvin goes up and is looking for studded leather armor.
Okay.
I'm looking for armor as well.
Cool. Studded leather armor. Okay. So you just go up and say studded leather armor. Do you guys just kind of request?
I want something that's enchanted with kind of like an odd enchanting, something that may not be as like maybe like if I get hit, I get random deflections, increased
Okay.
or
Sure. Do you say this to her? Are you guys saying any of this stuff out loud?
yeah, I want to let her know that I want something enchanted that could be helpful to me. Someone who's prone, if I get hit, it could mean curtains for me. So I want to find an enchanted armor that could help me, or even give me a benefit every now and then, or something. Yeah.
She
I'm
looks
gonna
up at
give
you.
Sneak one of my bardic inspirations.
Okay. I don't know what this is for, but I don't think this is a persuasion or any check. It's just a statement, I think. But you
Yeah,
have
don't
that.
use it
You're
yet.
inspired. No, yeah, you're inspired. You're inspired again.
Okay.
You have a D8 that you can use. I forget when it runs out, but you have a D8 that you can use for anything. That's what the bardic inspiration is. You say this to her. She kind of looks up for a second as she's writing stuff down, and kind of like has like a small little side smile, and then just looks down at her work, and she's like, "Are you all the new workers? I don't have
Yes.
time for games right now. If this is your attempt at amusing me." And she's just scribbling.
No humor here.
So are you the new stalkers?
Oh no.
You're here to shop.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you want? And then she kind of like puts her pen down for a second and looks up at you all and kind of like leans in, and like it's bustling, like crates are moving, right? There's openings everywhere in this courthouse with horses coming in and moving boxes and crates and weapons. You see this beautiful armors. You see the studded armor the studded leather armor that you're interested in, Melvin, mounted on a nice display. No enchant. She totally ignored your enchanted armor comment. She thinks it was a joke.
Well, I'm gonna just nudge at Melvin then, since I kind of got ignored. I'm gonna be like,
My good registrar, Kaylin, Anastasia, excuse me, Registrar Anastasia. May I see that?
You're seeing it now. 300 gold.
300 gold
Yes.
for studded leather. What does it do?
Well, out of game, it gives you it's 12 plus your dex modifier for your AC. So very humble, not much, but the price. All of you do I think history check, or I don't know, a weapons check. I'm not sure what that could be. You can convince me of a check. Yeah, I think history makes some sense.
Is it performance?
No, definitely not.
I got another 9 in that too, bitch.
Yeah, Lyx. I mean, Lyx, this makes sense, and kind of Willow. This makes sense for both of you since you've been to Calaman. Okay, shit. Okay. I mean, Melvin for other reasons, but Lyx and Willow, this makes sense for you guys to know kind of that, like, this is really expensive for studded leather armor. Like, you've seen it way cheaper in Calaman before. Melvin, I don't know, in your life on the streets, this is a ridiculous price. This is too much.
Ma'am, I just know that this isn't right.
You're right, it's not, but we're in times of war, and the demand is high. Unless you are elite soldiers or elite knights of Solamnia, I really can't allow any special privileges here, or rich noblemen willing to pay to our cause to fight a war on Kryn against the Shadow Queen herself, so I'm told.
What if I told you that we were working with the military?
Oh, what's your rank?
I haven't
Project?
gotten my papers yet.
Special projects,
Oh, special projects. So you are here to be my stalkers then.
I guess.
nah.
We're working directly under Vestra. We haven't received any assignments yet, but if you have questions, you can go to her. She will back us up.
So you're working for Marshal Nestra, the person in charge of the entire military? So are all these people. So am I. If we're finished here, and then she goes back and starts writing stuff
How much for
and
the
totally
bombs?
ignoring you guys. For the bombs, those are brand new inventions created from the gnomes of Neverwinter themselves. This is a brand new weapon, incredibly powerful. It requires training. The training fee is included in the cost if you don't have the certificate. So for the training certificate, it's 500 gold. For the bomb itself, it's 1,000 gold per bomb.
Dude, we know how to work them.
Sitting on a gold mine.
I'm just gonna reach into the bag of holding and be like this, because we still had one left.
Where did you find that? Birds! And she screams out, and she says, "We have thieves here!
No,
Where did you get that?" And then
no,
the guard,
this is ours.
the
Well, I
guards.
No, you don't. No.
I'll give you. All right, actually, I'll give you, since everyone else reacted very harshly. How do you guys stop Willow from doing this? This is gonna have to be.
No,
a
we
skill-
stopped, like, well, I understood it as we were stopping the people, like, rushing at
Okay,
us.
was someone
I
trying to
was
stop
I
Willow?
was yelling Willow no, but that's all I
Yeah, I'm rushing to
Okay.
Willow to like put it back in the bag, like, Joe, that was good.
Okay, guards are around you all. What's
Oh.
going on? What's going on, Maester Anastasia? Are these brigands and thieves? And like you guys are surrounded right now by guards and soldiers. I believe they have an item of ours that they stole. They must be working for the Eye.
No,
New inventory. We brought this in.
Sorry.
You brought this in, then hand it over.
We brought this in. Do inventory first.
Yeah, this is ours. Hand over your own stuff, dude. We're getting. I mean, don't hand over your own stuff. You'll take your stuff. We'll take our stuff. Just know.
Where are you taking this? What? I have the records here. Where's this bomb going?
This is ours. It was given to us.
That makes no sense. Who are you?
You would.
What are your names? What are your names? I'll look it up on my records now.
Could you look up what's his name?
Humuru? Humuru?
Yeah.
You want to say Humuru?
I'll like whisper it to her. No, I'm not.
And
No.
then yeah, she's noticing all this snickering and like sneaking around and whispering, and she
No.
says, "Guards, apprehend them now and obtain what they have. The little one, the Kender, he has a bag with a bomb. You have the bag of holding, don't you?"
Stop! You can't. I promise you, we're not any sort of shady folk. We have gold. Everybody calm down.
Can I run if they try to grab me? Can I just like dip out?
Can I do a
You
deception
can. You
check?
can. It'll be an athletics check.
I was
I have
gonna say,
bardic
It'll be
inspiration.
acrobatics. It'll be acrobatics.
Okay, well, let me wait.
Let's just make this a list.
Do
This
you
is
think I
great.
should run? Do you guys think I should run?
You
No?
can't, Colton. You can't ask. 'Cause
Okay.
This is all happening right now.
Okay,
This is
okay,
just
let's,
you.
let's,
This is just
let's
sneak.
circle back. Did they say grab it? And then, and Melvin was talking, Melvin finished talking before I make my decision.
You can't. Wait, everybody just calm down. Can I roll like persuasion?
Sure. What are you trying to say?
Everybody just calm down.
We couldn't have stolen anything. We just walked in.
Yeah, as Willow said, we couldn't have stolen anything. We just walked in.
Show us
Please
the
check
item you
inventory.
had. Show us the item you had then. It looked like a bomb.
I didn't put it away.
You're gonna have to show something, Sneak. What do you show them?
Yeah, I pushed it back in. I'll reluctantly lift it up out of the bag, but
What are you getting out of the bag?
I'll show the bomb.
You're showing the bomb. Okay.
I'll show them the bomb.
They have the bomb. Apprehend them now.
No,
And-
dude, whoa, dude. All right.
What are your names? If this bomb is yours, what are your names? Who do you represent?
Dude, leave me alone, dude. I just want to buy some armor.
We're refugees from Vogler. I know that's not going to help, but that is the truth.
Where did you obtain this device? We should be
given
the
to
only
us.
ones in stock. None of you have certificates, and if you do, I'd have you on record.
All right, listen. It was given to us by a great dragon, right? That's
And
all
then-
I'm gonna say.
You hear kind of like laughs from around the group a little bit. Go
It's the
ahead
truth.
and you do a persuasion check.
Me?
Sneak.
Okay.
Sneak.
Okay.
Wait.
13. Oh yeah, I have
Do you want to roll the
inspiration.
D8? Yeah, do you want to roll the D8 on that?
Should I? Yeah.
So I'll let you
Okay.
guys ask the should I questions when it makes sense narrative wise, but when it doesn't, it's all you.
8.
Oh fuck! And then Kaylin looks at you and says, "What's the dragon's name?"
I could not
That's
even
for us
begin to
to
tell you.
Our business is served.
I'm just really dumb.
Kryn is being attacked by dragons throughout the realms. How do I know you didn't get this from one of our enemies and you are enemies? What
That's-
dragon gave you the bomb?
A bronze dragon.
If we were enemies, it would be pretty dumb of us to just walk into one of the most heavily guarded places in the entire city with Castle Calaman just a spit's throw away, ma'am.
Yeah, so as this is happening,
Wants to throw up immediately.
as this is happening, you guys hear a oh ho ho hey coming kind of from like the back. And you actually see Fizzban. You see Fizzban walking in. So our dark-skinned friend in robes, and he adds on, he's like, Kaylin, yes, they're telling the truth. A dragon did aid them. It's actually a dragon, a good friend of mine, Humruruth the Valiant. You can trust them. Humruruth is he's the one, and he kind of like whispers in her ear and says something to her. You guys can do a perception check, I guess, at disadvantage, or yeah, whatever to try to hear. Or actually, just do a normal perception check. It's a high thing. Okay, not great. Willow, you did not roll yet? Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, Willow, you hear it's still not like it's still whispering, so you can't hear complete sentences, but you definitely hear morning flame. You hear Humruruth. You hear you hear soft. You hear the name soft. But yeah, you hear the morning flame is the big one that caught your attention. That Fizban apparently knows Humruruth and the morning flame or something about it. And Kaylin kind of like straightens up and she's like, they are not certified to use that weapon. Fizban. And then like he looks at you all and says, "Would you guys share your names with her real quick? She'll look you up."
If you say it's okay.
Just tell her your name. So you guys say your names, your real names? Okay.
Yeah.
She looks through and you can actually see her writing down your names like very secretly onto this list. She says, "Very well then. I want them out of my sight though. Guards, escort them out. Fizban, I have no interest in your friends." And then Fizban looks at you all and is like, "I think that's a fair exchange. We'll make our way out of here. Although I did have a couple questions, Kaylin, but good to see you all. I'll see you around at the docks sometime, or maybe I'll buy some calf for you all if you ever need some rest. I'd like to get to chat to you all whenever you have the time." He kind of has that deep Gantu voice again, kind of what I think of. What do you guys do?
Dude, no, I need some armor.
Isn't there another store?
And then like the guards kind of step up behind you all and they're like, "All right, let's move it."
Whatever.
And they're very
We're
much
gonna go to the Hammer Strike Forges.
they're very much not on your side right now.
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna turn to her and go, "Sorry for the problems. We will get out of your hair," kind of like nod my head down and kind of like nudge to everybody to just leave before we're escorted out.
And if you need good service, shop at Zoblobs.
Some of the guards laugh at that, and they actually like at that comment, Melvin, they like see you guys as harmless and don't actually fully escort you just a little bit further out, and you're still in the courthouse, but very much not a welcome presence right now.
Gave our name for no reason.
I'm just gonna say, I thought that was gonna go very differently, and I apologize.
Yeah, remember the bombs are new. They were they're new inventions, so it's very shocking for others to have it, especially in such a controlled city space like Calaman. So
yeah,
just
no,
kinda...
Willow doesn't usually admit to messing up because she doesn't
Yeah.
mess up that coyly. So yeah,
Holy
no,
shit.
she's very embarrassed actually. This is new for you guys.
Are you hiding behind your little thing, kind of? Like maybe...
Oh yeah, mask is back on.
Are you guys walking out or kind of just staying around?
I want to get the hell out. I was like,
Let's go the hell away.
Yeah, I think honestly, like Sneak's like it's like it's like I don't know, like Sneak's like, dude. Yeah,
this is like a big shitty city vibe here, big shitty, and like also like emphasizing the war, right? Like only the best of the best or the richest of the rich can get the best weapons and armor, at least officially. So you all
made
walk
that
out.
Mistake. Yep.
You all walk out then? Okay, Sneak,
Let's
you
go
again.
Let's go to the Hammer Strike Forges.
Sure. Before that though, Sneak, you again notice that gentleman still hanging out in that alleyway. And actually everyone else can do a perception check except for Sneak. Melvin, oh shit. Oh, I'll wait for everyone else, but that's important that you rolled high. Yeah, Willow, you're just embarrassed beyond belief. That natural one is the icing on the cake. Amazing. I love when the game responds to the vibes. Lyx, would you get an 8? Yeah, it's not good enough. Sneak, you still notice that person. Melvin, you also notice that person, and you actually have, from the angle you are now, like above on the stairs, you're able to see some of the facial features, and you're immediately taken aback with this 15 that you rolled, because this is a new and nesty person. This is a new and nesty elf just hanging out in the alleys in this dark robes. Everything else looks like normal bustling city, normal, soldiers, everything else I described before.
I guess, well, there's not much time to tell anybody about this.
You haven't seen a new
maybe...
Nesty in ages, or not ages, but a while.
Wait, I know this person?
No, but you haven't seen, you don't know if you know them, but you haven't seen a new Nesty in quite some time, right? In this whole adventure, I think.
Right, so that's shock. I don't think he says anything on the way out.
Okay, you actually hear, "Hey, looking for good deals?" from this same person as you guys are walking down. "They're ripping you off in there, ain't they?" Do you guys respond? He's just kind of saying this out without looking at you guys, actually, still kind of like back against the wall. Just
the new Nesty, though?
Yeah, the new Nesty in the dark.
Oh, then I say a new Nesty, yes, brother.
Oh
Mhm.
shit. Okay, yeah, they respond back and they kind of like do a little like formal like, one hand on the chest. I don't know, is that a New Nesty thing? Like some kind of New Nesty like salute, gracious thing. And you immediately see kind of like this scar, this pretty scary looking scar going from like right eye down past the lip. The dark New Nesty skin, kind of like darkish purpley, but like pretty dark. Can't really make out the eyes too well, but you now see a very chiseled jaw, like very buff looking, strong, tall, New Nesty man in these dark robes, dark attire. You do briefly notice, and Sneak, you also noticed this from your previous check, this weird kind of bluish eyeball paint. Like it looks like an eye-ish weird symbol on his cloak on the back. And he salutes you and greets you in the New Nesty tongue and kind of says, follows up with so pleasant. And this is in New Nesty now, so no one but Melvin understands this, but he's just like, it's so pleasant to hear the mother tongue again out in the overworld.
I've never met someone from our kind up in the overworld. How there's so many questions, but I think we're being shoved out. So we've got where can you find me? Where can I find you?
Oh, what? Sorry, wait, what the hell's going on? Are you asking him like what is his proposal or
Are
what
we
he's
not
talking
being
about?
escorted like out
Yeah,
as
yeah,
this
yeah.
is happening?
Yeah. No, you guys are good. They left you
We're
alone. You guys
outside now.
were you're outside.
Okay, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't describe that well. You're outside. You were at the top of the stairs. You noticed them visually, and then as you walk down to kind of like go to the next place, he reaches out and talks to you all.
Okay, well
So
let's go
you're
get
out.
Sneak's
You're out in the
armor.
streets. You're out in the streets. You're out in the alley.
Yeah, well,
You,
let's say as we're coming out, we see him and he like glances at us, we glance, and then we'll like linger over to him.
Yeah, and he basically says, that place is a ripoff, and then he kind of goes into if you're looking for good deals, I know of a place. There's an alleyway northeast of the steady beacon. There you will find a purple door. Next to that purple door, there will be a triangle like the instrument, and a small, whatever the fuck that stick's called that they hit with the triangle, and it's attached to the wall next
A
to the
tuning
door.
fork.
A tuning fork. He's speaking this in your tongue only, actually, Melvin. And then he says, this part's the most important. If you wish to seek an audience with Beastmaster Ardo, you must ring this tune. And then he goes, dun, da da dun, dun. And then you will be given access. So, dun, da da dun, dun. So, whatever I said, southeast is somewhere over here. Southeast of the steady beacon, the giant tavern, working your way that way to the city. He claims
Were you at?
that you'll have better prices on weapons, armor, and other goods. Master Ardo has all kinds of goods that inquiring minds such as yourselves would be interested in. And then he looks at everyone else but Melvin and says, I've given some valuable information to my fellow Nuanesti brethren. I hope you all would consider negotiations with our fine Master Ardo. And Colton, were you going to say something?
I was just gonna say, were you able to understand anything, Melvin, that guy was saying?
Melvin just kind of chuckles at Sneak. I'll fill you in later, friend. Let's go get your armor.
So are you going to go to this place, this new place? Or are you trying to search for it somewhere else? It's up to y'all.
I kind of would like to check it out.
So, I'm down. I'm wondering, like, are we doing one more location and then calling it a night?
I think what we can do is I can introduce this next section and then I'll share all the shop and then you guys can linger on the shop stuff until the next session.
Okay.
Would that be good? Or I won't share the shop here in this session. I'll do it out of session throughout the week or whatever. But we can see what this is if you guys want to. So is that what we're doing?
I think ultimately, whatever's clever, we don't have to go either if we don't want to.
I'm gonna say that Willow is still supremely embarrassed, so she's just gonna go along with whatever you guys want to do. But I am establishing that I am not speaking. If there's something I want, I'm speaking through one of you, so you can stop me.
Oh,
We
no.
forgot already. You're fine.
I haven't.
The party visibly notices this Willow. Do you guys react? Or do you say anything else to this stranger? Anyone? He kind of like puts his head down and he's like, "It was a pleasure to meet you, brother." And he's like, just kind of gets back into his pose and is chilling.
As we walk away, I kind of explain to the Bronze Spurs, so they're now included in that scene, right? Or they were.
Sure. Yep. So now you all know now about this mysterious shop with weapons, armor, and other goods that might be helpful at a fair price, supposedly.
I guess like also my reality is I don't have a lot of gold. So I don't know if we need to be making some money before we go, but maybe I just have the least gold of them.
Well, we could
Oh.
also see what they have and see how much we need to get. We don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to buy when we go.
True.
Yeah, and sorry, I
Yeah,
forgot to
that's
say this, guys. Moving forward, I really wanted you guys to like meet a lot of these new shopkeepers and stuff, because they might have quests associated with them. They're people. They're living in this world. They could be very important. They could teach you more things or whatever. But moving forward, you guys can out of session be like, hey, now that we're back in Calaman, I go to such and such place, buy this, and you could just text me that, subtract it from your thing. So we don't have to in session every time do a thing. But again, sometimes there will be cool quests maybe associated with these people, or you want to talk to them for whatever reason. But does that make sense? So don't think that every time you want to shop moving forward, it's going to be a big thing. We can do it out of session as well. So, but I did want you guys to meet these people because I think most of them are interesting. Even mean old Kalen. Cool. So sorry, what are we doing? I interrupted there, but I just wanted to explain that just so you guys know moving forward.
Then we could just do probably the apothecary and the steady beacon and the text message or whatever through text message shops, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you guys can do well, the Steady Beacon's a tavern. That's kind of more of a role-playing section. It'd be like to hang out, maybe get news or whatever you want to do there. The apothecary, I would like you guys to meet him at some point, but you don't have to. You could also buy it out of session.
We could head there.
Or you guys can go to this new place, whichever, or anywhere. I don't want to railroad.
Let's do the steady beacon through text message and then go to the apothecary if you're all down.
Well, actually, sorry, the Steady Beacon definitely can't be done through text message until you meet this thing because it's mysterious and weird. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry,
I
I
don't
might
know.
not be explaining. Yeah, so the weird place in the Steady Beacon is like some underground, not on the map thing. This is something weird and a secret. You guys you guys discovered a secret basically. But
I'd
yes.
say let's just go to check out Ardo and because we already have the apothecary list, right? So I would
That's
like
true.
to go to the location next session because I have my list and I'd like to like do the fun thing where you get random potions.
Yeah.
So does that sound good? We'll go to the
That would be a good
Ardo
idea, yeah,
person.
to prepare. Yeah, and then if you meet Ardo, then you'd have both of these shops and you can kind of think about it all before the next session. Cool. So you guys scamper on over then to the Steady Beacon area, southeast. You do find this weird alleyway that kind of loops into different corridors. You go straight, right, left, and then there's kind of two paths. But in between, you see kind of going down this grimy path in the alley, this weird purple door with a weird triangle instrument next to it and then chained to it. So yeah, the triangle instrument's chained on the brick wall next to the purple door, and then the little symbol thing is also chained. I forgot the something fork. And yeah, you guys do the jingle. So yeah, sorry, it's a grimy dark city alleyway that you find this out of place purple door hidden in a sharp turn of the alley. On the door, there's also kind of like a half sphere on this giant purple door. So this weird half sphere thing is on there, but it looks like it's part of the door, but it's just an odd decorative thing of the door. And then, yeah, you see that triangle instrument. And actually, all of you do a perception check real quick.
Oh,
Willow's just out of it. I love it. I love it.
21.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit, a natural 20. Fuck.
Mine was also a nat 20. I'm not to
Oh, really?
not to
Oh,
toot my own
you gotta just say
horn.
that. You gotta just say that. You made me think that was a normal 21. Wow. So 2 natural 20s. The small people, you notice this sphere is kind of moving, almost like an eyelid, and maybe there's like weird wet stuff at the bottom of the door, kind of like oozing out. But from this angle, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. And Melvin, you rolled a 14. Yeah, you don't notice. You just notice the triangle in you. You remember the rhythm. You're ready to roll. Willow, do you react to that? So Lyx said a nice little, I guess, reassurance to Willow.
Yeah, I actually kind of like sound like Melvin as I'm trying to get this out. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that didn't feel. Thanks for not turning on me, I guess. I don't know.
You're good.
Yeah, so the two little people notice this weird thing. Melvin, do you just go right to the thing and just do it? It looked like you were making that motion. Do you do the dun da da dun dun? So you do that. So Melvin does that even though the small people just notice this weird thing. And actually, as Melvin does that, for the briefest moment, you do see like that the sphere, almost like eyelid, looking right at Melvin, and more of this weird liquid is coming out from the bottom of this door. And then you kind of hear, actually with the natural 20s, so the little people, you definitely hear, ah, customers, Dory, let them in, let them in. You hear that. So someone's yelling at someone named Dory as the door moves open, and this kind of gust of cool air comes out from this very dark passage that looks like a stairwell going down. You can smell different incenses and smokes kind of coming out. As on the other side of the door is another half sphere looking thing. What do you guys do? The door is open. Come on in, customers! Come on in!
That must be Dory. That's
So we're
Mom.
doing this?
Yep. I guess we're looking for Ardo.
Okay, well, they'll take up the rear, I guess.
We could all hold hands
Melvin.
if you want to.
Gonna go for it, I guess.
Yeah, you guys go down. You smell all these weird, exotic smells, kind of weird incensey things. Maybe a bit of wacky tobacco thrown in there. Just all kinds of smokes and different things. As the door slams shut on its own, there was no one there. There was no what was Dory or anything. And you guys keep walking down what feels like a good 1 to 2 minute walk until you finally see a really shitty like wooden sign hanging on weird chains that says The Shining Mimic in these weird bluish painted things. Or sorry, purple paint. You guys see this wooden counter with glass paneling at the bottom of the wooden counter. You see all kinds of strange curios, kind of reminiscent to Zablob. Junks, you see drugs. You do see all kinds of drugs and wacky tobacco and different types of bootlegs and alcohol. You see articles of clothing all over. And then also, and the wall in the background, there is a wall mount with a good selection of weapons. Some of them look like the ones that you saw in the war chest. And then the two people that rolled natural 20s, so like it looks like a store filled with all kinds of crates and weird junk and curios. Definitely lots of armor and weapons and weird knickknacks and things that might be magical. But the natural 20s, every now and then you swear to God that you don't know if it's rats or something, but some things keep flitting around in the background and just moving about in the shadows. Very small, some might be a little bigger, but you keep noticing these things moving around. And then suddenly you are greeted by a very strange old elf. And I think we'll end on this. He's wearing a giant black, almost top hat. He's got weird ass goggles on the cap. He's got a weird ass black mask. He's kind of a tan skinned, maybe Kaganesti elf. Looks very old, over 300, maybe 400 plus. Has a cigar, just smoking. Giant red garbs that look way too fancy for him, but then underneath it looks like weird roguish leatherish armor, all kinds of wacky gauntlets with all kinds of bandages and stuff. And I'll show him in just a second as he has 2 cups of calf, the 2 cups of coffee. He has them both on the counter. He grabs one of them, and as he grabs it, before he can even greet you all, the cup, it's part of it turns into a mouth and bites his fucking finger, and he's like, ah, copy, bad copy, no, we have customers. And he got bit by his cup. He's like, I'm so sorry, copy. That was very rude of me. Oh, my dear mother, oh, bless her soul. She taught me much better than that. And then he grabs the other cup of coffee that is actually a normal cup and starts drinking it. as he was just bit by what looked like some weird mimic being. And then he looks at you all and says, "Ah, friends! Hello! Welcome, welcome! Welcome to the Shining Mimic, my sweet humble abode of Arbo Beastmaster Osteroth. How can I help you?" And then we'll leave it at that. And I'll send you what he has to sell. But you guys are in a weird, sketchy shop with a guy that might be